So the holiday season can be sentimental, even emotional. Add in a little nostalgia and it's Kleenex City. But the season can also be inspiring and uplifting at the same time. Allison Gilbert joins us. She's a contributor to O, that's Oprah's magazine, as well as author of Past and Present, Keeping Memories of Loved Ones Alive. You recently wrote a piece, The Reflection Effect, for O magazine.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, nostalgia really means this sentimental longing for the past. And the surprising thing about nostalgia is that people may think, oh, that makes you sad, but actually it makes you really happy. It's uplifting. It makes people actually more creative, the science says. And so the essay in O is really all about how you can use that sentimental longing for the past to actually fuel greater joy over the holidays or really any time.
Well, like we were saying about the emotions attached to it, and we know depression kicks in. Unfortunately, suicide rates also tend to go up. But you're saying revisiting the past is actually a way to maybe impact if those are things that someone's going through.
That is really true. The science bears it out. If you go through photographs and you invest time to look at the happy memories that you've lived in the prior months or prior years, or maybe it's decades earlier, science says that by going back there, it actually sparks something in your core that makes you feel more happy in the present. It's considered a social emotion, kind of like empathy. You actually get to be closer to the people around you in the present. You feel a greater sense of connection to people who are kind of around you today and not just in that photograph. It's a wonderful impact that you would not necessarily recognize.
Is this explored in the book?
Yes, right. So Past and Present is really all about how we can celebrate loved ones and keep them with us any day, not just the holidays.
So speaking of holidays, which of course means eating,
yes,
but you've actually found a very unique and creative way to latch on to those memories from the past while we're still having food.
Well, who doesn't love to eat food over Thanksgiving, right? And so one amazing thing. So don't talk about politics over Thanksgiving, right? Let's keep it, clean. Let's keep it all about family memories. And one way to kind of do that is to focus on why we eat certain foods, right? So I brought a little, fun show and tell today. So
hold it in the camera too.
Sure, definitely.
Tell me about it.
So this particular plate, if you could see it, is made from my grandmother's famous to our family, coffee cake recipe. And if you're home and you're looking at this screen, I think you should really take a screenshot of it because it's actually a really awesome recipe that I highly recommend. So the one thing that we do as our family is that we of course enjoy, eating this incredible coffee cake, but it's one thing to eat something and it's one thing to have taken her recipe handwritten. Actually, this is one of the ideas in Past and Present. How do you then get that image of that recipe onto a platter? Well, I found a potter who I've never met. I scanned the recipe, and the rest is just, right here in front of us.
You know what? I would have never thought. That is just so creative and so inspiring to keep you connected with your grams, and I would have never even thought, of that. What a very unique way to do that.
Well, the one thing that it does is that the one really great tip is that it really invites conversation. So not only are you eating the food that's important to you on Thanksgiving, but this just, it cracks open an opportunity to talk about people in your family who are no longer with us. And you can kind of use your handwriting to tell stories. You can have it be an opportunity for kids to get involved. And, when you touch and feel it and it's tangible, things get a lot more real.
I'm just floored by this. So, you had the plate made, or the platter made,
right? So in my book, Past and Present, it's really all about how to celebrate loved ones. So I give readers 85 practical, concrete, executable ideas because I am not really someone who can actually execute this myself. So I found this potter who lives in Wisconsin. I've never met her, and all I've done, and anyone who buys the book can do this too, there's the website of the potter, who I think is fabulous. So part of my job as the writer of the book is that I tested her work. I sent her my grandmother's recipe. I got the plate back. I wanted to make sure that it was, did it really hold up to the standard that I wanted to be in this book, and I thought it did. So anyone could then send their recipe. And it's, of course, not just this potter. You can probably find someone near you to do it too. But there's more ideas like this about food. And, of course, there's technology, ways to use technology. We're all on social media these days. So how can you use tech to also celebrate loved ones? How can you use things that we touch and taste and smell? And even if you go for a walk in the cold weather, you know, nature, being outside is something that really evokes memories too. And so how do you use what's around you in a way that kind of can bring you back to the past? It's really all about what I wrote in O, which is the reflection effect. How can we use those memories to bring more joy to our lives?
Okay, so look now, Allison, what year is this recipe from?
Oh my gosh. Well, she made that throughout my entire childhood. And in the year or 2 years before she passed away, she wanted me to make sure that I had the recipe in hand. But of course, paper, when you're in the kitchen, what gets all over the paper, right? It can get dirty, it can get stained, it can get, you know, and of course this can break too. But it's like having a belt and suspenders, right? Now I can make sure that I have another avenue of sharing my grandmother, you know, with her great-grandkids, my kids.
Give us the website for people who are looking for more information about the book.
Yes, well, you know, it's called Past and Present, but everything is Allison Gilbert. So AllisonGilbert.com or A Gilbert Writer. Is everywhere too, but I would love to be in touch with readers too.
Okay, you're on Twitter or
Twitter,
Facebook?
Instagram.
You're all over the place.
All over the place.
All right, look, I have to do this healthy segment teas coming up, but look how simple this thing is.
I love it. I love it. You know what?
Got 6 ingredients.
You know what? The longing for the past and wanting to go somewhere where you've been, it sounds like it can make you sad, but I guess the whole point of us talking today is that you can reframe it, and it could be actually a real avenue for great joy. And that's really the message this holiday season.
I'm missing your grams already with this. Nice to meet you, Allison.
You too.
Coming up, staying healthy and fit during the holidays. Stephanie Mansur, Stepping Up with Steph is here. We'll be right back.